I haven't worked with him on a guitar per se. I borrowed his shop because he generously lends people his, he would, in the early days, he would let people, he'd always open his door if you have a problem to let you come in and he would help you in any way. I mean, that's one of the beauties of the guitar making community, but Grit especially was very generous with me. And considering in the early days, we were actually sort of directly competing for customers, so they'd often choose between the two of us. But there was always this wonderful generosity of spirit that he would help me anytime. I knew, hands down, anytime I had any sort of problem, I could call Grit and he would give me a really helpful answer or help me in any way. I can't tell you the number of times he's bailed me out of problems with guitar making. I mean, I was supposed to give a speech once, the first time I ever gave a speech on stage about guitar making, and I was about to faint. I was so nervous. And he held me sort of in front of him with his hands and he said, "I'll go on and do it for you if you want." You know, because he knew I wasn't going to be able to sort of get through the slideshow. I did, but it was just knowing he had my back was just so incredible. I was in the board of directors. I was on the board of directors for Asia, the Association of Stringed Instrument Artisans, and we were on the board I think for about 4 years at the same time, which meant we held a few symposiums together. And he was a dream to work with. I mean, incredible energy. We would drive down to these shows, you know, 6, 7 hour drives, 10 hour drives away. And it was just always funny, hilarious. He's not getting this award for driving though, right?
No.
Good. So, because maybe he's a very distractible driver. Once a bee came through, he was driving and a bee came through the air vent system and he started swatting it while he was driving. I had to grab the wheel. Because we were going to hit something. But, as long as he's not getting it for driving, I'm happy. My context for him as a singer-songwriter is he would always perform at the Asia Symposium. He would actually play on the, I think that, I'm going to get this wrong, the Northumbrian bagpipes. He'd walk down the alley with a few hundred guitar makers and he'd play these. He'd walk up on stage and perform a song and usually have everybody rolling in the aisles or almost in tears from the beauty of what he was doing. He's a very emotionally moving singer-songwriter and performer from the heart. He's totally from the heart. Grit's work with Borealis Records has been incredibly selfless on his part because I remember when he first started talking about doing it, what he wanted to do was find a place for Canadian artists to work and present themselves. And from my perspective as a builder, certainly no group of people needs support more than Canadian musicians who are so incredible. And for Grit to have spent the kind of energy and time to work on this record label has been just incredible. He's done an incredible job for Canadian musicians and I'm really proud of him for that.